As of just a few hours ago, at least 100 homes were damaged or completely destroyed. People we spoke with told us that the rain came down quick last night, that floodwater rising several feet within a few hours. We have seen crews on four-wheelers, in vehicles, and on rafts, not only rescuing people but assessing the damage. At least 100 homes within about a 10-mile radius were damaged in those floodwaters last night. A good portion of them a total loss like this one right here on Dismal River Road. A multitude of homes were destroyed here in Buchanan County, Virginia last night. Let me just show you exactly how high the floodwater rose. People we spoke with told us that the rain came down quick last night, that floodwater rising several feet within a few hours. This site will be open and manned 24 hours a day until Friday, until it moves to Twin Valley High School a little bit closer to the damage. Rain has been off and on here in Buchanan County all day long. Those floodwaters so strong last night that entire homes like this one along Dismal Creek were completely swept away.
The water was just rising so fast and we couldn't get out because there was nowhere to go.
An entire community destroyed by flash flooding Tuesday night.
Just praying for the best because, I mean, there was no way out. We couldn't do anything.
The Heron family lost everything: 6 cars, a barn, family pets, and their home.
Me and my son, my 2-year-old son, were on an air mattress in the floor and we were floating and the water was up maybe this high.
Their horror the same for most of their neighbors.
This was one time a real nice place. It just, you can see, it ain't even safe to get in. The only reason I come in is try to salvage a few guns before somebody else come along and got them. That's our water line. That's how far up it got. It moved this house.
Authorities searching for over 40 people.
Somebody said we was missing. We're just telling the state police that we're fine and dandy.
That number fluctuating.
The number of people that's missing, a lot of that is due to, say, family members or loved ones trying to contact a member, someone that they know is there, and there's just no telephone service or no way to contact them. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they're in trouble or danger.
It could take several days for authorities to assess just how bad the flood was last night, but at this time it's already expected to be just as bad, if not worse, than the one in Hurley this time last year, impacting more people. In Buchanan County, Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11. Cleanup is well underway here in the Pilgrims Knob area of Buchanan County. Today we have seen different crews from the Virginia Department of Transportation, linemen, tow trucks, and other volunteers with religious organizations working to clear what was left behind from last week's flood.
Basically what we're doing is called a mud out. We're taking out all the mud and the water. We'll take out all the damaged contents, and when we get that all done, then we'll take down the walls, the dry walls that are damaged.
A few hours of heavy rainfall leading to days of work.
Money that they don't have to spend. A lot of them don't have flood insurance, so it's just we can just be hands and feet and just give them some assurance.
Samaritan's Purse is one of those organizations stepping in to help for free.
It costs a lot of money to fix this. I carried in flood insurance for several years, and I only had like $20,000 worth of flood insurance. And I had over $300,000 worth of homeowners, and that flood insurance was a lot higher than the homeowners was. It was just so expensive. I mean,
water rose about 7 feet in Stanley Ward's basement.
It destroyed everything downstairs, drywall, all the furniture, computers, everything we owned was gone.
Like homeowners, crews also working to clean up.
And if it don't get freed up, I mean, the water, if you get any much rain more, it's going to get out of the banks again. And have high water in places that don't need to be.
Authorities say bridges like this one are a priority when it comes to clearing that debris, but we're told that it could take months and maybe even a year for a full cleanup.
We see the numbers: 32 homes destroyed, 31 with major damage. Translation, that's hundreds of people, and those are just the destroyed and major damage. Many more tonight can't get to their homes. The human reality of the flooding here in Buchanan County really settling in. And Ansley Daniel, you've been talking to these people who, it sounds like a trite statement, they're literally starting over.
Absolutely. We have spoken with several people who have lost almost everything, or their homes are just completely destroyed. We've seen homes swept feet away from their foundations. It really is a devastated area. But on Dismal River Road, it looks like a different world, honestly, with how devastated that area is. And we found James Keene there. He was sitting on the front porch of his home there. It was completely destroyed. He was cleaning off little trinkets, and he was trying to salvage some crafts that his kids had made. His kids are grown now. But he tells us that this loss from last week feels like nothing compared to the one that he suffered last month, and all he was trying to do was save his wife's items. James Keene isn't able to salvage much of his home in Pilgrim's Knob.
It looked like a tidal wave coming in on the ocean. And then it broke the windows out, and that door was closed over there, and it was pushed open. It just let all the water coming this way in, and then it went all through the house.
His home for more than 2 decades, a total loss.
I was just looking for stuff that belonged to my wife. I wasn't worried about my stuff.
Last week's loss,
You see how high the water is?
minuscule compared to the one last month.
And on top of that, my wife just passed away June 11th. And then this happened. I've like been in a daze for the past 2 months.
What he worked to salvage isn't his.
If anybody ever tried to dig around in mud a foot deep, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack, really. You got to dig and scrape, and we just lucky we got out what we did. It was sentimental. It belonged to her. I don't save what I could for memory.
His wife Doris by his side for most of his life.
She's just a beautiful, wonderful person. We've married 61 years, so that's about it. I couldn't ask for no better person in this world.
James and his dog Pee-wee are staying in a hotel until the end of the month. After that,
I got too much on my mind to worry about that. My wife just passed away here a month ago. Now we lost everything here. Don't you think that's a lot to take in 1 month and a half?